My name is Denby Grace, executive producer at 2K, working on Evolve, and you are watching Eurogamer.
Greetings gamers, Eurogamer's YouTube editor Ian Higton here, and I've just come back from playing this game, Evolve. Well, I've not just come back, the event was like 2 weeks ago, but you know, embargoes and stuff. Anyway, Evolve is an upcoming man vs monster cooperative shooter made by Turtle Rock Studios, the makers of the Left 4 Dead series. As a massive fan of all things L4D, I was really pumped to get hands-on with Evolve's hunt mode, and I had extended play sessions as the monster, the Goliath, and a couple of the hunters. I'll be going over my thoughts on the game throughout this preview, but first, here's the non-monstrous Denby Grace from 2K Games, who evolved primordial noises from his mouth hole into modern words that explain how Evolve works.
4 human characters, all with their own individual roles, take on one hulking behemoth, specifically called the Goliath, this guy, who's also human control. The sort of tone for the game, we're really inspired by Predator and Aliens. You're scared about what is out there when you're playing as the hunter. Now, as the monster, there's a very different feeling, and it flips completely around. You want to attack the hunters, and you're very much overpowering the hunters unless they work together as a team. But there's 2 different sides, and both sides feel very different, and the game actually changes through the course of a round, so that it goes from hunter to hunted for the hunters and vice versa for the monster.
During the first match I played, we beat the monster pretty easily. Rather than munching on the wildlife in a bid to evolve his form into the highest level beastie, he tried to bring the fight to us when he was only on level 2, and he paid the price. When I stepped up as the monster, I concentrated on levelling up, avoiding the hunters and eating as much as I could until I reached level 3 with a full set of skills. At this point I thought it would be a good idea to go eat some hunter faces and win the game, but then something about a generator popped up. Denby, what's a generator for?
Ultimately, in Hunt, the goal of the game is for one team to hunt the other. So what we do is we want to force engagement, we want to force a sort of an end game. So once you're at stage 3 as the monster, then we open up a generator on the map. On this map specifically, there's different stuff on different maps. And then that creates a convergence point for the battle to play. That places a really good arena and a good space for combat. So we don't want the games to drag too long, because then generally people are not having such a great time. So what we've done is we've got lots of different systems to kind of like get people into that sweet spot of maybe like 12, 15, 20-minute games.
As soon as the generator appeared, I used my monster's smell-o-vision to see where the hunters were, and as expected, they were making their way to defend the generator. I rushed there as fast as I could, using the Goliath's powerful jumps to quickly close the distance. Then I clambered up the side of the factory building which held the generator and managed to have a quick munch on it. You see, the generator powers shields which protect some civilians. If the monster can bring it down and chomp on the defenceless victims, it's game over for the hunters. After each match ended, I noticed we were awarded XP, but didn't really see what it did. Denby?
We have a big progression system in Evolve that we're not really going into too many details today, because this is the first look, but you unlock new characters and hunters, and also you unlock new monsters. So every time you sort of finish a game, you're rewarded, and you're rewarded for what you're doing as your class. You know what I mean? You're not rewarded just simply for a win bonus or win-loss. You're rewarded for how good were you as a support class. How many times did you get in those key shields? How much damage did you do with your orbital barrage? With the medic, you're evaluated. How many times did you trank and this is kind of formulated into some sort of ranking and sort of XP. We'll be revealing more details over that over the coming months of really how that sort of will work in a sort of like in a tech tree sort of fashion.
I was able to try the game out in full-on co-op mode, but I've heard there is also a single-player option. Can you explain how a co-op-focused game will work for those lone wolves out there?
We're not calling it single-player per se, but yes, you can play in any sort of like loadout of any 4 versus 1 combination. So you want to play monster and you don't want to play online with your buddies or anything like that, or against anyone else in the world, the AI will fill in for you. Yeah, so you want to play 2 mercs against no one else, then yes, the AI will fill in you. So you can play with any sort of combination of 4 versus 1 and the game will work.
I think it's fair to say at the end of the last generation the multiplayer shooter format was starting to feel a bit stale. Call of Duty, for instance, is now looked upon with more size than battle cries. Do you think Evolve could lead a charge for a new type of shooter for the new console generation?
We certainly see that it has a unique appeal. Absolutely. Whether it leads a new charge, I don't know. Those games they're juggernauts, and they're great games. You know, they are great games. They do what they do it well. I'm a big Battlefield fan. I play a lot of Battlefield, and over the years I've played a lot of Call of Duty. I think certainly Evolve offers something different, and Evolve offers something unique. It's a very intimate experience, and it's something that feels very, very different. And I think that's one of the appeals. I do think people are looking for something different, without doubt. And that's what excites me about Evolve. It's what excited me about Left 4 Dead when that came out, right? It is a very different experience, and it really does offer something very, very fresh sort of feeling.
And fresh it does feel, Denby. Thanks for talking to us. I thoroughly enjoyed my hands-on with Evolve, but as I was playing with a group of people I hardly knew, I had much more fun when I was going solo as the Goliath. The adrenaline rush of narrowly escaping capture as a level 1 beastie was great, as was finally levelling up to max strength and being able to lay the smackdown on the hunters. It did worry me a bit though. I loved Left 4 Dead. Played with close friends, it's an amazing, hilarious experience, but played solo it's a bit dull and often frustrating. While I was in Team Hunter playing with strangers who weren't the best at communicating, it gave me the same lonely, confused feeling I'd get during random Left 4 Dead matches. Don't get me wrong though, I thought the game played fantastic. It's really well balanced with each hunter complementing each other perfectly. The thrill of the chase was incredibly exciting and the visuals are just plain gorgeous. I just think people without a dedicated group of gamer buddies to call on will find the whole experience a little shallow, unless they spend the majority of their time playing as a monster like the Goliath. Thanks for watching. We've got loads more Evolve content on the way, including profiles on 4 of the hunters, the Goliath and the planet's flora and fauna, all coming very soon. So please do subscribe by clicking on that annotation. Or I'll eat you and use the energy from your body to partially level myself up to a level 2 YouTube editor. No, I won't really. I was lying.